Yo, 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 yo. In this thing, man, we having a post game reaction, post game review. Um, Bucs versus 49ers, man. We had a tough game, but we're here to talk about it, man. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Final score, 49ers 35, Buccaneers 7. Tough game to watch. As a Buccaneer fan, very tough game to watch, man. But it definitely didn't go with how we expected. I thought it was going to be more of a low scoring game. I thought we would have came out and better contain the 49ers on what they were trying to do as far as scoring and moving the ball. But it looked like it was a total team effort to lose this game by all means. Offensively, we didn't do enough. Defensively, we didn't do enough. It seemed like the only thing we did do well on it was special teams. And I can just start off with that with Jalen Dart um, being being one of those guys that we cut. Let me see, let me do this with Jaden Darden being one of the guys we cut early in the week last Tuesday. I mean, this past Tuesday. Um, and mainly due to his special team efforts, man. A good guy, And one thing about Jaden Darden, let's go into it. I think Jaden Darden was a good pick for us, a fourth round pick. Um, and truth be told, fun fact was he was the second most productive receiver coming out of college. Beside I forget the guy name that came out of Alabama. That played for the Eagles. I forget his name. Let me see if I can think of it. Let me see. Devontae Smith. Coming out of college, that year in the draft, man, that we drafted Jaden Darden. You had Devontae Smith coming out of Alabama, and who he was and all his accolades. But in that draft, uh, Jaden Darden was during that last season. Jaden Darden was the second most productive receiver behind Devontae Smith. So this is one of the reasons why we drafted him. We thought like he had a lot of potential to add to this offense and add to this team, but it just didn't work out. I think he's still a talented player. I think he's just a little small. Couldn't really cut it out. Couldn't really cut it getting on the field. Cracking the wide receiver depth. The depth chart as far as getting in on the field. When we did put him in on the field, he didn't really do much. But his niche that we was trying to give it to him was in special teams. And as a returner, the stats would say and the analytics would say, oh, he's one of the best in the league. He's doing well in the league. He's not bad, but he's up in that middle top tier of returners in the league. But that just wasn't the case. And this is one of the things where I talk to a lot of people about, getting off the stats and the analytics and trusting the eye test. If you actually watch the game, Jaden Darden wasn't a good returner. Um, he wasn't. He was scared of contact. He ran out of bounds. He just didn't seem like he ran with that fervor that you would like from a guy that's returning the ball. So I think it was a call that came down from the top. They're like, hey man, we could do better. So we elevated Devin Tompkins. He came in. You can definitely see the spark with him returning the ball. And yeah, he had very good returns, all but one or two, and depending on the blocking and everything. But when he had a chance to run with the ball, he had good returns. So I think besides the offense and the defense, I think special teams, besides Sucker missing that 55 yarder, which was just a chance to score, that was basically a gamble. We're not gonna hold him to that. But as far as special teams, the only bright spot I see out of this game was David Thompson coming in and being a returner and really giving us a spark on special teams. Now let's get into it. Like I say, Buccaneers, we fall to the 49ers at home, at their home, not our home, but 49ers in San Francisco, 35 to 7. We just couldn't do anything with this team, man. They was up 28-0 at halftime. We only scored in the third quarter, man, by a lucky catch by Russell Gage. That was a tip pass from our own guy. Break down the stats. Brady was 34 for 55 for 253, one touchdown, two interceptions. Definitely not one of his best games. Definitely not a good game for him at all. The storyline, the story hero of this game, Brock Purdy, 16 to 21, 185, two touchdowns. He didn't have to do much, but he did what he needed to do, and he made the plays he had to make. And that's all the 49ers asked of the quarterback. And that's the reason why Jimmy Garoppolo was so successful in his offense and his system was he didn't have to be the hero, man. Just make the passes we need you to make, and everything else will work out. Deebo Samuel started having a good game. Unfortunately, he got injured. Word came out that it wasn't a significant injury. So, like I said, I never wish injury on any player, but it looked like Deebo Samuel will be okay. As far as the run game, Rashad White led the team with 13 carries, 56 yards. Christian McCaffrey led the 49ers with 14 carries, 119 yards, one touchdown. He played awesome. Receiving, very dismal on our part. Chris Garvin led the team with 5 receptions, 54 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 2 receptions, 57 yards, one touchdown. It was just a sloppy game, a bad game altogether. But the bright spot about it is Tampa Bay is still in first place in the NFC South at a 67 record. And that's just a testament to how bad the NFC South is. We do not deserve to be in first place in any division with that record, but it is what it is. So we're gonna continue to ride that, and hopefully that catches us a ticket to get to the playoffs. But as far as the game, man, and just watching the game, it just wasn't a good game at all, man. Like the 49ers dominated us in all aspects of the game. I'll be the first one to say that Brady didn't have a good game. Beside the pass that he made to Mike Evans down the field, they got called back from a Donovan Smith holding call, which was really just kind of a demoralizing type of thing. Other than that, man, he didn't play good. I think by Brady himself, from his arm himself, he left 21 points on that field. And I go right into it from the Mike Evans underthrow in the red zone. He underthrew Mike Evans. Mike Evans is 6'5", man. Put the ball in the air. Throwing in Mike Evans' feet, that just wasn't a good throw. You talk about the Julio Jones underthrow when Julio Jones had to step on the guy wide open. You missed that. That's a chance for potential points. You had Scotty Miller, man. Scotty Miller, the burner, the guy that that can really catch a lot of defenses off guard by his speed. He catch the defender off guard, and gets down the field to Noah Bell. Tom Brady underthrows him as well. And with that Julio throw, it looked like Tom Brady mustered up everything he has to still underthrow him. I don't know how much the weather or the elements had something to do with that, but it definitely looked like Brady arm couldn't make that throw. And I'm not trying to be too far ahead of what's going on, but Brady just didn't play good, man. It looked like he played like a 45-year-old quarterback, scared to get hit. The interceptions he thrown were just like interceptions. He was just trying to get rid of the ball, scared to get hit. Um, wasn't good decisions. It just wasn't a good game, man. And you got a guy on the other side of the field, Brock Purdy, that played with poise, 134 passer rating, 2 touchdowns. He threw for 185 yards, but it looked like he shredded us in all aspects, man. It just wasn't a good game, man. Christian McCaffrey, like I say, 119 yards rushing on 14 carries, 18, not 18, but 8.5 yards per clip. He also had two receptions for 34 yards in receiving game. Brandon Ayuk led the receiving corps with 2 receptions for 57 yards. So in the passing game, they didn't do much. We just couldn't stop them. Deebo Samuel, 4 receptions, 43 yards. He started to get hot before he got injured. Um, Mike Evans, 4 receptions, 44 yards. Julio Jones, 5 receptions, 38 yards. Leonard Fournette, the check down specialist, man, 6 receptions, 33 yards. We just didn't do enough, man. We just didn't do enough. And it's sad to say that we just didn't do enough, man. We really didn't, man. As far as the defense, it was a total disaster. We had no answer for them. Todd Bowles definitely got out coached in all aspects of the game. He had no answer for Kyle Shanahan and what he likes to do and keeping his scheme and keeping his offense at bay. Despite whatever plays he was calling, the players didn't do a good job, man. Jamel Dean giving up a touchdown, getting beat with the pump fake, and you got those safeties getting beat. You got Christian McCaffrey running the touchdown, man. It was just a bad game to watch from a Bucs standpoint, from a Bucs fan standpoint. Um, First play out the gate, we have a play where we sack him with Ken O'Neal, but he come in too high. Because Brock Purdy is a smaller quarterback, we get flagged for that. It was just unfortunate things. Vita Vea go down early, be out for the game early. It just wasn't a good game, man. Credit the San Francisco 49ers coaching staff and their team. They're well coached. They are. Kyle Shanahan has complete command of their team, offensive wise. You have their defensive coordinator, and D'Amico Ryan. He has those boys playing their hearts out. They're playing a good defense. On the defensive side, man, check out Dre Greenlaw, man. 15 total tackles, 10 solo. He was on fire today. Jimmy Ward, 8 tackles solo, 8 total tackles, 6 solo. Fred Warner, 8 total tackles, 4 solo. They was doing good things, man. Dre Greenlaw really, showed up this game and played good sound defense from a linebacker standpoint, pass coverage standpoint. They took advantage of our mistakes. I did a podcast earlier about how this game was going to shape up, and I always said that at the end of the day, man, we have to run the ball. I don't think necessarily we was bad running the ball. I think the game just got out of the hand so early that we couldn't continue to run the ball. And the testament to that was Rashad Wright was 13 carries, 56 yards. He was averaging 4.3 yards a clip. You can run the ball behind that, right? You can run the ball. I'm not asking us to have a 100-yard runner, but in order to control the game, control the line of scrimmage, we had to run that ball. And the game just got out of control too fast that we got away from it, man. And we started relying on Brady, and Brady started deteriorating. And it just didn't look good, man. Brady looked like a 45-year-old quarterback. Someone that's, don't want to get hit, scared to get hit. He's either going to check the ball down sometimes when things may be open down the field, and give it a little, and or you know he'll make those mistakes, and it looked like we're a tired old team. We don't look motivated. I tell people, I tell people, first and forehand, this wasn't on Byron. This wasn't on Byron Leftwich, and I'll tell you why. Because for the simple fact that it was 28 points left on their field. Even with the holding penalty with Donovan Smith, that's 7. I say Brady blew 3 touchdowns by underthrowing receivers. One by Mike Evans in the touchdown in the red zone. He underthrew that. Mike Evans 6'5", throw it up. Head to the beat, throw it up. Right. You come back around, you have Julio Jones on the deep route, you underthrow him. You come back around, you got Scotty Miller, get the jump on a guy. You underthrow him. These are plays that we need. I want to say those plays result in touchdowns, but those plays give us momentum in the drive to go down and drive and get a touchdown. You never know. At the very least, get a field goal. I feel like this game was out of hand, and to some people credit that this game was out of hand before Brady started playing bad, and that's more of a testament on the defense. The defense just didn't show up. And I don't think it's the players per se. I think having Vita Vea going down in injury was one thing, but I just think Todd Bowles didn't have these guys ready, and it's a constant type of narrative that's going on with the season where this coach that's led by Todd, I mean the team that's led by Todd Bowles just don't look motivated, man. They look dead and dry. They look dead in the water, man. And it's one of those things where it's getting to the point where, okay, what do we do? A lot of people calling for the firing of Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich, but I'm not defending Byron Leftwich, but I can defend him in the aspect that, hey, he did call those plays this game for us to score at least 28 points, and Tom Brady just didn't do it. He didn't. Tom Brady didn't play well. He didn't play well. And in my Bruce Arians voice, Tom Brady didn't play well. He didn't. There's nothing you can say that Tom Brady did other than protect the ball, other than having more than 2 interceptions that he played with. Tom Brady missed a lot of touchdown, like prone plays, underthrowing. One play, Chris Godwin was open on the outside. He didn't even look his way because he was interested in the check down. These are the things that I think Bruce Arians, you know, picks on Tom Brady about because, hey, man, like the offense, the plays are there. You have to play. You have to see where these guys are going. You have to make the right reads. And I think Tom Brady just didn't do a good job with it, man. And along with not making the throws, certain throws like that Julio Jones throw down deep, it's like he had the time. Brady mustered up everything he had and still underthrew Julio Jones. And at that point, That's when I thought Tom Brady on his toast. Because he mustered up and he did what he had to do, and it just didn't look good. So at the end of the day, man, it was a bad game on the Buccaneers' part. It wasn't a good game. Credit the 49ers, man. They did what they had to do. Well coached staff, man. You got to think about it. They got Anthony Lynn over there, D'Amico Ryans, Kyle Shanahan. They got a good staff over there. Only thing wrong with their team is they avoided their starting quarterback, which probably wasn't the best quarterback on the roster. And then now Jimmy Garoppolo go down, and now they have something in Brock Purdy. They looking at, well, he's a baller. And he looked good. He looked impressive. He didn't have to throw for 300 yards this game. You know why? Because he didn't need to. The defense, allowed him to not throw for allowed him to not be able to throw or not need to be able to throw for a lot of yards this game. And that's the thing, man. It's just one of those things that once again the Buccaneers come out and we just look underwhelming. We don't look good. We don't look motivated. I think we're leaning on this defense so much that when the defense doesn't have a good game like this one, it just makes the offense look even worse. 28-0 first half. You can say, well, the defense ain't playing good, but Jesus, we got an offense too. We have a Tom Brady led offense. What's going on, right? It just didn't look good, man. And Tom Brady didn't even get sacked this game. Tom Brady didn't get sacked. I don't think on the box score they showing he didn't even get sacked. It just wasn't a good game, man. And a lot of people talk about it. We're gonna hear more about it as it go on. And even Todd Bowles said in his press conference, it was a total team effort to get their ass kicked. It was. It was a total team effort, man. And I didn't think we was gonna come out. Even if we were gonna lose to the 49ers, I didn't think we was gonna put up this type of effort or lack thereof. It just wasn't a good game, man. It just wasn't a good game. You telling me all we can muster is 7 points, regardless of what the defense is doing, regardless if the defense gave up 35 points, all we can muster up is 7 points offensively, and it just wasn't a good situation, man. So I would say at the end of the day, we have a lot to look at. We have a mirror to look at as far as what's going on, as far as what we want to be as a team, and where do we go from here? Looking at our schedule going ahead, let's see. I think we got the Bengals up next, and we can't play like this versus the Bengals. Bengals is kind of catching heat, catching fire. We can't play that against the Bengals. We got the Cardinals after that. But this game right here was just a massive indictment of who we are. We could talk all we want to talk about, but we are who we are. We are what we look like against the 49ers. Like, we are a team that if certain situations don't come ahead, then we don't win. We can't be a 2-minute drill team. We can't. We got to be able to play 60 minutes of football. We have to. This team is not good. It's not coached well. It's not led well. Altogether, it's just not a good team. And you know, I'll be one for to say, like, I'll be the first one to say that in this game, Tom Brady doesn't look like the quarterback that needs a return. It was throws that I feel like Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert would have made. You know, it's plays that I feel like, or throws, like I say, it's throws that touchdown opportunity plays that I feel like Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask would have made. And I think when you have a 45-year-old quarterback out there, plays like that he missed, it's because of he's a 45-year-old quarterback that's scared to get hit. He's worried about getting hit. He's worried about somebody being in his face. The last interception he even threw was because a guy was in his face. And look what he did. I think the game is turning faster than Tom Brady wants. And his team, you know, with the Mike Evans, the Julio Jones, the Russell Gage, the Chris Godwin, I think they're being let down by a quarterback that's not willing to stir down the barrel and make that throw. I think they're being held back, and I think they're being castrated by a quarterback that would rather just take the safe option, the safe out all the time. You know, And it's frustrating because we have enough on this offense to score more than 7 points. I don't care if they're the 49ers or not. We have enough on this offense to score 18 points a game. When it come down to it, like I say, regardless of the play calling, regardless of the scheming, it's plays every game that's touchdown worthy, score worthy, that's execution. Whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's blocking, whether it's a number of things, it just doesn't work out. In this game, Tom Brady showed his age. Tom Brady showed that, hey, if the first read isn't there, I'm looking for the check down. And sometimes that's detrimental. Sometimes that's to a fault. So yeah, man, like it's a lot to unpack about this game. Like I said, this is just the instant reaction to it. 49ers played a well game. 49ers played well. They played a great game. Brock Purdy looked well. He managed the game. That's all he had to do. He has enough weapons around him to just manage the game. He made the throws he needed to make. And in the instance, that's all Tom Brady got to do, right? We have enough weapons around Tom Brady. All he has to do is just make the throws. But I think Tom Brady's worried about Tom Brady, and the offense suffers because we don't have no one that's willing to make those certain type of throws. And when it get desperate, we look desperate. And I call it the quicksand effect, where the harder we try, the worse it get. You have a guy like Rachaad White that's running the ball well, but we can't stick with it because we down 21-0 in a blink of an eye. We down 28-0 in the half. Like Ty Bowles, man, he didn't do a great job on his defense. Whether the defense let him down or he didn't do a good job with the defense, preparing the defense, it all go hand in hand. We just didn't look good after. We looked unprepared. We looked out coached. Tom Brady didn't look well. Defense didn't play well. Like I say, the only bright spot of this game that I take from is Devin Tompkins coming in, replacing Jaden Darden as a return guy. That's the only thing that I saw. Said, well, damn, they look good. Other than that, nothing else didn't look good. Nothing else didn't look good, man, at all. It's a shame that, the 49ers were without Deebo Samuels for unfortunate reasons, and we still couldn't do anything about it. They kept scoring and kept going on with their offense. At some point they got off the gas, and we still couldn't do nothing. I know we're missing Tristan Wirfs. I know we're missing Sean Murphy-Bunting. I know we're missing Antoine Winfield. I know we're missing Mike Edwards. But Jesus Christ, we make it to the playoffs. That's by sheer situation that the NFC South is good. We just the best. We the best team in the worst division in football. But we cannot expect to do anything in the playoffs. We can hope, but Brady's looking like a middle of the road average quarterback. It just we have to find it. We have to figure out what we do well and practice that and do it. Otherwise, we just look like a team that's showing up every Sunday and hoping it all go well without beating nobody. We've yet to beat anybody except the Seahawks. I'll leave it at that. Instant reaction. I'll be back next week with some more insight about the game and more breakdowns about the game as more come out and going into the Bengals game, man. But at the end of the day, wasn't a good game to watch as a Bucs fan. Credit to 49ers coaching staff, credit to 49ers team. They played a good game. They played us how they had to play us. They played us how they need to play us. They played us they took what we gave them. Bad defense, unproductive offense. So what you expect a team like the 49ers to do? We just couldn't take advantage. We couldn't play up to our standard, and they took what we gave them. So that's how the game. That's how the game ended. That's how the game turned out. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit the notify button. More content on the way. At the end of the day, go Bucs. We got the Bengals coming up next Sunday. Hopefully we figure it out, man. We don't know if heads will roll because it was a definite embarrassing display of football this Sunday to the point where Fox had to change the game and put the Panthers and Seahawks on. That's embarrassing. Highly embarrassing for a Tom Brady led team that we're losing so bad the national TV network don't even want to show us because we're losing it bad. So we'll see what we can do. If we can turn it around for the Bengals. At the end of the day, all we can do is hope for that we dig deep, we look ourselves in the mirror, and we can kind of catch fire and get hot going into the playoffs if we make it there, because it's still open. Who knows if Atlanta Falcons figure it out and go ahead? So let's keep it going. Go Bucks. I'll be back with some more content throughout the week on Thursday. I'll be back next Thursday to talk about the Bengals. Um, like I say, hit like, subscribe, notify button, keep up with everything that's going on as far as the Swords and Cannons Books podcast. Catch me on Twitter. Stay tuned, man. Got the Bengals up next. Let's look forward. Go Bucks.